Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new video. So we're still playing decks from Player Store Online 1, and for today I have a very cool deck which is Bant Ramp. Now this deck is tailored to beat Wilderness Reclamation and it did a very good job at that, and I also think your Jund Sacrifice matchup is good, but I did not come across a lot of Jund Sacrifice on ladder, so I'm not really sure how that goes, but it seems like you have a good matchup against them. So let me go quickly through this deck and let me tell you what this deck is trying to do. This deck is kind of a control deck, you could label it as that because we're playing some board wipes, we're playing Teferi Time Raveler, and how do we shut down a lot of the reclamation decks? I mean, obviously you use your Teferi, but then you have cards like your Brazen Borrower, you have cards like your Wilt and then Aether Gust to just get rid of it. And the cool thing about Gust and Borrower is that they fare well against other aggressive matchups. For example, Gust can put an Embercleave on top, put like an Anax on top, and that way you kind of time walk your red opponent. Brazen Borrower can just bounce whatever your opponent plays. Wilt could come up sometimes with you destroying Embercleave, but usually you would cycle that against aggressive matchups. And how are we ramping and making sure that we're not falling behind with like land wise? We have Growth Spiral and we have Uro. Now Uro is also good in this kind of deck because it always gives you a finisher when you need it. You always just have this in your graveyard. Whenever you feel like you can safely tap out, you can just tap out, play Uro. Tamiyo is super good because she pairs super well with Elspeth Conquers Death, and it kind of sets up a loop. Now what is this loop? If you have a Tamiyo in your graveyard, you can just return it with the last trigger of Elspeth, put it on the field, minus Tamiyo, get back your Elspeth, replay your Elspeth, and that's kind of a very, very broken loop. And even if you have an Elspeth in your graveyard and then you hardcast a Tamiyo, you can minus get back an Elspeth, and that kind of loop makes it worthy for you to run one Tamiyo. Now we're not running too many just in case there's a lot of aggro decks, and then that's why you wouldn't want for that to happen. And Nissa Krasis is such a good combo. Nissa on her own is a very good threat, and Krasis is just a mana sink for us. If we get to late game, it makes sure that we have something to do. It gains us life as well, and that always comes up often. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the main deck. One thing I want to mention before we go into the games is that first of all, you are running Blast Zone and the Triumph just to like enable some cycling, and the Triumph is not really something that bothers you. Usually most of the time you cycle this. Now the one thing I did want to mention is that this list is not my own creation. It's Louis-Samuel Deltour list from the Player Store Online 1, and he's a very good player, so make sure to check out his games if you have time. It's on Twitch, I think it's on Twitch in the Magic channel, so make sure to watch those. Glass Casket for the sideboard. Glass Casket is good against red decks. Woven's Veto is good against Reclamation. 2 additional Borrowers against either the Mirror Match because you kind of switch into creature deck, or maybe just against Reclamation because you get to bounce their Wilderness and then you can set up pressure that way. Mystical Dispute can counter a lot of things and usually side it in against either the Mirror Match or against Reclamation. Dream Trawler is a threat that you could use for the future, although Luis wasn't siding it in a lot, so maybe you can change that when you play the deck. And Hero's Intervention also wasn't sided too much, so you might consider just replacing these 3 for like Nightpack Ambusher, but I'm just going to be running his list as is. And with that out of the way, if you did enjoy this DeckTech, please do consider subscribing because it helps the channel a lot. And with that, let's get into our games. Going into our first game of Bant Ramp, and we're playing against a random child, and I hope he's not playing Reclamation because this hand is not good against Reclamation. I think this hand is just way too slow for me to keep, so we're just gonna mulligan. This hand is definitely better. I think we don't need double spiral in our opening hand. I think we can just get rid of that, and that should be enough for me to set up for the future game. He gets a Thought Erasure, so he can shock, Thought Erasure, take our Elspeth Conquers Death, and I think that's gonna be the nail to the coffin. I think we just concede. I mean, he has an Atris, he has an active Narset. I don't think we can come back from this. Seeing how he's Planeswalker Tribal, we're just gonna side in these. I don't think Wilt is gonna do anything. I don't think Gust is gonna do anything besides hit what was his Bolas. So besides that, I think we don't have to keep any of these. Shatter is also useless, so I think that's going to be pretty much it for the sideboard. And let's just try to win 2 games in a row. I do believe in my ability to win 2 games in a row. Let's do this. Alright, so opponent is ranked 95%, and his name is Random Child, and then he hits me with a turn 1 Duress. I play around a lot of turn 1 plays, but I've never had to play against, around turn 1 Duress. Alright, let's play first. Sand is good even if we get Duress because we have double Growth Spiral, and then we have this to stop Thought Erasure on turn 2, so I think we can keep. Yes, we don't have another land, but I mean we have double spiral, so that's pretty much a land drop for the future. We still don't have a white source, but I believe that we are going to be able to draw into one. Alright, so I just play our triome and then let's just pass. So he starts off with a temple, he scries top, and then that's going to be pretty much it for our turn, and then we're just going to pass. Dovin's veto and I don't have a white source does not feel good. I think we can safely grow spiral. Alright, we set up for white source thankfully. So let's just fetch. And depending on what he takes, I'm gonna know whether or not he has something to deal with our counter spells or not. So what do you take, opponent? I assume he's taking the Teferi, really. Yeah, that seems like the most logical play. Or he could just take the spiral. That's also something decent to do. I mean, another Temple of Deceit. Alright, his start is definitely slow to say the least. Yeah, we don't get our land, but I mean, we're counting on spiral to get us out of this mess. We're counting a lot on spiral to get us out of this mess. Alright, so spiral does the thing that it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna crack the passage because I don't know what I need yet, so I think we can just do that. He doesn't seem like he has... I don't think he has... Let's see, so I want double green for Nissa, we have that. Do I need double blue for anything besides Borrower? No. Doesn't seem like he has dispute is what I wanted to say, because he's not doing anything. And like the game isn't pausing when he's doing anything. If he had turn 2 Teferi, he wouldn't have turn 3 Teferi, he wouldn't have played it because he knows all of these. And considering whether or not I want the krasis for 2, I think the answer is no. I think we just play our borrower, try to apply some pressure that way. If he tries to go for an actress, we definitely counter that. But I mean, do I really care about that? You can just counter whatever he gets with this. Yeah, I think we just don't mind that. And if he's looking for land, we can just bait him with whatever we give him. Alright, so D-Spark doesn't do a lot against most of our field. I think I just do this. And then if he's looking for land, he'd pick the other pile. If he's not, he got 2 cards off of Atlas, but that's fine with me. Usually Atlas is a very skill-intensive card, and that's what I like about it. But I really feel like he's digging for lands. I really feel like he would pick the other pile just to hit his land drop. So, yeah, so definitely he did, and that's fine with me. I mean, his Atlas only got him 1 card, and that's better than getting him 2 cards. That's simple math. And we're not gonna hit that 5th land drop, are we? Opponent is gonna hit his, but we're not gonna hit ours. Do we krasis? That's the question. Opponent has enough for... I mean, I think we can just safely pass again. Sadly, this is not where I would want to be at this stage, but I think I'm gonna be fine in the long run. We have a dispute and then a borrower. We have enough pressure, I think, currently to kind of stumble our opponent that way. Yeah, I think we're gonna veto that. Because like I don't want him to take our borrower or like anything else. And then if he has something that's not in the colors, it's annoying. Alright, please a land. Alright, thank God we made our land drop. I'm very happy about that. Because like I don't want to be behind in this case. Is this a... Alright, I thought maybe it's a red typhoon, but it's not. So we're not behind pressure wise, we are ahead pressure wise, and board state wise, I mean there's nothing to be ahead. We're just attacking each other with creatures, but I have enough creatures to pressure opponent, and then borrower and veto up is also good with me. Alright, so Nicole Bolas, this is a bait, but I'm gonna fall for it just to not show our opponent that we have a veto. And I think we can safely play the Brazen Borrower part of Brazen Borrower, and then just keep on applying pressure that way. Alright, another borrower off the top is decent enough. So opponent is down to 9. If he doesn't do anything about this, he's dead in 2 turns, and that's fine with me. Alright, opponent, get vetoed again. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, I can't have you resolve any of these. So opponent is gonna gain life. I'm not gonna play the borrower because it doesn't increase my clock, so maybe it's just simply better to keep it in hand for the other part. We're just gonna attack for 3. 1, 2. We're gonna play our Temple of Plenty. We're gonna bottom. I don't think I want more lands, and I think we should just play krasis for 3, because krasis dodges. If he does this for evens, and for odd, krasis dodges that, and if he does it for even, he just takes a krasis. And if he simply just does not have removal for all of these, he's just dead. So, I mean, I'm counting on him not having anything. Alright, so with that, we go into game 2. I mean, I think just that having enough of these counter spells was enough to deal with like whatever my opponent was doing. Opponent had a slow start, but I mean we also had a slow start as well. So like, let's do this. Let's do this. Alright. Opponent is sideboarding. I think he just did not expect the whole pressure from Borrower, and it was enough to deal with everything he had in mind. Let's see what opponent does. Opponent is gonna probably keep on sideboarding. And one thing I can tell you is don't over sideboard for a matchup. For example, with against Reclamation, Wilderness Reclamation, a lot of the times when I play the deck, I take out my Reclamations because I would know that my opponent is gonna try to focus on them. So instead of playing 4 Reclamations post board, I play 2 Reclamations and 2 Expansion Explosion. And usually that's how I get to beat people game 2, because I side in these ambushers, I side in any kind of creature threat that just does not care if you have enchantment removal. So we just play them, attack, pressure with them, and that's usually how I win these games. So one thing I want you to learn from this video is don't over sideboard for a matchup. Teferi, Nissa is a decent enough curve, and then even if he has this card, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep my hands. I think it's decent enough to keep. Although Teferi doesn't do anything against their deck, I think the mana consistency and just having a threat when we need one is good enough with me. Maybe I should have mulliganed this hand, but I mean, I'm not sure yet. Alright, so opponent still does not have a discard spell. I'm gonna play Fabled Passage to thin out the deck a bit more, and I'd rather keep this because we're flooding, so we can just sacrifice it later on. Alright, the Fairy Mirror is fine with me. So starting next turn, we're gonna be playing Hearthstone because I'm gonna have a Teferi and opponent is gonna have a Teferi. So we have double white. Let's just set up for double green for Tamu, for Nissa I mean, but we have double green in hand, so I think I'm fine with searching for this. Alright, so we're gonna play our Teferi, and then we're gonna plus in case opponent has an Atchus, because I wouldn't want to minus for nothing and then opponent slams in an after us and then deals with my Teferi that way. And then he slams in Narset to make me regret not minusing Teferi. Does he minus Teferi? Does he not have a land drop? That's the question. Alright, he does not have a land drop. He did not make his land drop. Alright. I mean, suits you for playing this deck. We're gonna play our land tapped and then we're going to pass. We should have plus Teferi definitely, but I did not notice. Narset feels super bad when you're not making your land drops because she keeps on taking lands from your land count. That's not something you want to do when you're missing land drops. Sadly he hit his land, and sadly he hit an Oath of Kaya to deal damage to our Teferi. Sorry Teferi, we love you. Alright, he hits my face, which is better for me honestly. We're gonna cycle this Triumph now because Narset is not working anymore. And I think we just can play our Nissa. And then we can play this. If he hits the Nicole Bolas next turn, I'm bothered. Besides that, I think I'm fine. Let's see. I think we kill off this Teferi now because he would just bounce our lands. I don't want him to do that. We plus this Teferi and then we pass. And let's just hope and wish that he does not hit. I mean, he needs to exactly hit a land with red, and he does not have anything with red in his hand currently, so that's really fine with me. Did you hit a land with red, opponent? Knowing my luck, he probably did. Alright, Teferi is completely fine because he either bounces our land. Alright, he loses Teferi next turn anyways. So let's just hope he doesn't hit anything that can produce red for him, and with that I'm super fine with all of this turn. Super fine with all of this sequence of events. Let's just hope he doesn't have anything with Teferi, and that's enough with me. That's enough with me if he just does not have anything to play his Bolas next turn. Alright, then we have a veto to deal with the future Bolas. Alright, this is looking like a very good turn of events for our side. Let's just plus, play this, animate this plains, attack down this Teferi, and yes, we're gonna keep on taking damage from Oath of Gaia, but one Uru is enough for us to gain back all of this life.
I've got it.
So let's just see what the future holds for us, and let's just keep on doing this. I'm sorry the phone keeps on ringing. I'm extremely sorry for that, but I mean, people just want to talk to me. Alright, so let's see what happens with the sequence of events. Opponent probably is going to play his Bolas, and his Bolas is going to be met with the Dovin's Veto. But sadly that doesn't keep our Do I just protect this Nissa because we need her? I don't think we do. I think we just let this happen. I mean, I think he's just testing our hand. So I'm not gonna grant him the answers that he's searching for. If he wants to see if I have a counter spell, I'm not gonna give him that. And I'm not gonna counter this Oath of Kaya, although that kills our land, but I mean, again, I don't want him to know that we have a counter spell. So I'd rather counter this Bolas than him doing anything, and that's good for me. It worked out in our favor. Let's just... thing is... Alright, so let's see. Do I want to have double veto and dispute up, or do I just want to play this Nissa, reanimate a land with blue, and then attack? I think we just play our Nissa, and then play reanimate this breeding pool, and then we just attack this down this Narset, and we've lost our Teferi. Yes, we are going to 9 life, but that's fine with me. 1 Uru again is fine to gain us all of this life again. And then if opponent has, he's just gonna play his Bolas, we're just gonna mystical dispute that. Elspeth conquers that is not okay, honestly, but like, what can I do? I mean, we're trying our best to deal with whatever opponent is doing, but we're not succeeding every time. So we need to remember that our dispute is gonna cost 2 more, but if we do this, I mean, we kind of still have 3 to pay. We can't pay for veto anymore, but I don't think he's gonna have a counter spell up, and even if he did Teferi, it's fine to deal with that. So we're just going to attack, and then we're just going to minus Teferi for no value, just to maybe try to hit a land drop in the future. So submit 0. Alright, so that's good with me. I mean, whatever Elspeth conquers death is gonna get back probably a Nicole Bolas in the future, but what can I do? I mean, the luck has not been spawning to us these last rotation of turns. So is this a Nicole Bolas opponent? Is this a Nicole Bolas? It's an Oath of Kaya. Opponent seriously needs to stop it with the Oath of Kaya, because this is not fun for anyone. I mean, maybe it is for our opponent, but it's definitely not fun for me. So I'm assuming Teferi is gonna come back from our opponent's side, and that's very sad. So I'm gonna try to set up for an Uro. So let's just play our Fabled Passage, search for a blue source, and then Uro. I think that's the best thing we can do currently. Do I even have a blue source? Watch me not have a blue source. Alright, so we have a blue source, thankfully. So we're just gonna play our Uro, remove all of these lands, and that way I kind of give him something to deal with in case he gets back his Teferi. And then now we have next turn, we have Elspeth conquers that to deal with the Bolas, although he would have another one, he would force us to counter. But I mean, luck has not been smiling to us, to say the least. Him just keep on getting his stupid Oath of Kaya has not been fun for me. He gets his Bolas, which is stupid in my opinion, because he could have just gotten Teferi, resolved the Bolas from his hand. Extinction event is gonna be met with Dovin's veto, and then he would kill this. I think we definitely have to veto anyway, so let's just not overthink this. I think I force him to use this Nicole Bolas just to destroy this, and then we Elspeth conquers death his Bolas. And I think that was his misplay. His misplay was not getting back his Teferi, because getting back Teferi makes sure that his thing resolves, but he sadly did not want to go for that route. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Alright, so he's gonna bounce this to our hand. Why did he just not destroy it? I don't know. I mean, that just gives us an extra card. I'm happy about that.
Trust me, I have a plan.
So let's just stop it so we have double dispute up. Let's just do this. We play Elspeth conquers death. I mean, maybe I should have not tapped this breeding pool so we can have a growth spiral as well, but I mean, I think that was a small misplay that we can afford to do currently. We can definitely afford this misplay. I think we're gonna have to double dispute this Teferi, sadly. But I mean, I'd rather opponent not have this active Teferi against us. Alright, Elspeth conquers death is gonna go up to 2 counters, and now I think I just bounced the Elspeth conquers death to my hand, so we can have another one for the future. Just the fact that I drew another one makes me want to keep it. So let's just play our Uro and then set up for the future turns where I get to escape it. Although these turns are very far off from now. Do I need the land? I think I just play the land just in case. Alright, and now we can just pass and feel good because we have a dispute up. Let's see what opponent does. Because now his Bolas is costing him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't play the Bolas. That's the minimum we can say. I think Narset is fine because we get to play. We get to get back Nissa and then Nissa kill off this Narset. So I think Narset is extremely fine with us. It's not something that bothers me. The fairy, although, is something that bothers me, and I think maybe I should have countered that. Alright, and now we will live to learn from our mistakes. Isn't Nissa? I think. Oh, I escaped Nissa. I forgot that I escaped Nissa. Yeah, don't misplay like I'm doing. Don't do these stupid mistakes. That's the minimum I can tell you. I think we Elspeth conquers that this annoying Narset. And seeing how opponent is gonna probably play the fairy, and then I can just.
Mighty warrior, I concede.
Alright, I think I plus, and then opponent's probably gonna try to resolve is the fairy. After he tries to resolve the fairy, let it resolve. I bounce the Elspeth conquers that, and then I counter the fairy that way, or I can just let the fairy resolve. And then bounce Elspeth conquers death, counter it. I'm not gonna let an Elspeth conquers death resolve opponent, I'm sorry. But I mean, you're not getting that. You're definitely not getting that. Hydroid Krasis. Hydroid Krasis, do I want to let you resolve? I don't think so. I mean, do I want to play? I don't think so. I wanted a veto honestly, but we can't always get what we want. Do we just play a Krasis for 1, 2... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can play a Krasis for... What's the best? I want to leave 2 mana up. So we have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can play Krasis for 6. And then keep mana for Dispute. I think that's what we do. So is that enough? Actually, I think I played for 6. That means I have to pay X equal 4. Never mind what I did. So that way we have mana up for veto, and then we have mana up for maybe dispute and veto. I mean, we hit none of them sadly. Like, what can I do? I couldn't have predicted this, and I think we just pass at this stage. Opponent sadly is gonna resolve. If he goes, I hope he goes with the fairy. Really, I hope he goes with the fairy. Opponent, what do you go with? I mean, Bolas and another Bolas is definitely annoying, but I think we can do with that. We're gonna be able to deal with that. If he pluses the fairy, that's fine. If he minuses our Krasis, that's fine. Alright. Opponent doesn't really know how Krasis works apparently. We have 2 Nissas in our graveyard, meaning we still have only 1 in the deck, so Nissa Krasis is not looking like something we're gonna easily get to do, but I mean in the future maybe we get to do it. I'm definitely gonna cycle this Triumph because I don't want it in my hand currently. I'd rather draw into future things. Alright, we're still not gonna draw into this veto, are we? I think we just jam in our Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next time I need to make sure that I don't minus something that I want. I mean, should have kept the veto in case we draw into a Tamio. Watch me draw into a Tamio. Alright, good thing we didn't draw into a Tamio because I would have lost my shit. So we escape Uro, we play this Temple Garden, we now have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Let's just play Krasis for 5. And try to draw into Elspeth conquers that or things like that. Alright, we sadly don't. I think we just plus, and then we discard our Temple of Mastery and our Teferi. I don't think we need all of these in hand. And then if opponent wants to play his Bolas, he would have to kill something and then we kill his other Bolas. That's exactly not something I wanted to see, because now he just makes us sacrifice 2 creatures. We lose both of our threats. What we can do is play Elspeth Conquers Death, target Lily, then bounce it, get it back to our hand. That's a decent enough play. And the game, we're never gonna draw this. Dovin's Veto, are we? So let's just play this Elspeth Conquers Death, target this Lily, and then let's just bounce this Elspeth Conquers Death. He doesn't have mana for veto, so that's fine with me. Alright, does that change how I play it? I don't think it does. I think we just play our Elspeth Conquers Death, and then we bounce, we deal with this Teferi. Probably opponent's gonna resolve a Nicole Bolas next turn, but I think I'm really fine with the Bolas because it's just gonna plus make me exile something. We either exile our Teferi or our Crossbar. Really, we have options for what we want to exile. But the only thing that I want to happen is for opponent to play his own Elspeth Conquers Death. That's exactly what opponent does. I mean, I don't think opponent's ever gonna play his Bolas. That's how the game is looking like. Bolas is just simply gonna be this card in hand that you never play. Let's just go Spiral. Let's see what happens with our luck. Did we play 3 Veto? I don't remember playing 3 Dovin's Veto. We only played 1. Is there another one in the graveyard? No. So there's definitely a bunch of other Dovin's Veto that we can still draw. So deck, what do you give us? An Elspeth Conquers Death to Elspeth Conquers Death. His Elspeth Conquers Death. That's sadly the meta currently. I Elspeth conquers death, your Elspeth conquers death, and then yeah, that's simply the meta currently. I'm gonna bait with the fairy just in case opponent has counter spells for like whatever I'm trying to do. We're gonna deal with this Elspeth conquers death. Opponent still has does he still have any? Maybe he just still has one because like he's playing a playset, but besides that I think we're fine.
I am not making
We're gonna bounce this, and I don't think I want to risk my last Nissa, so we just escape Uro. I think escaping Uro is the thing that makes the most sense. And we keep Krasis in case I get a Tamiyo. I think we just keep a Teferi, and then now that's the question. I think that's better. I mean, seeing how we have another Teferi on the field, I think we're fine with escaping a Teferi.
Suppose that's how it was meant.
Let's do things, Deck. We're sadly never gonna draw into our veto. Blast Zone is fine. I mean, that does mean that there's a veto somewhere here, so that brings warmth to my heart. Opponent, it's your turn. What are you trying to do? I mean, we still have to win before we mill out. That's also something that we need to think about. So let's see, opponent. This is a very long game. Yes, guys, I'm aware, and I want to thank you for like staying all of this game with me. I'm very sorry that it's this long, but I mean, control decks usually have this problem, and I'm facing another kind of control deck, so like I'm sorry if the game is taking a bit too long. Uro is fine. Losing Uro, I mean, it's fine. What can we do? We have another one in hand, so I'm not that sad about this loss. And then opponent plays his bolas. We can just Elspeth conquers that, and I think I'm happy with that. And I think I'm fine losing my Crow Spiral. I think we don't need Crow Spiral at this stage in the game. Yeah, Nicole Bolas. Sure, you're gonna get Elspeth conquers that next turn. Stop talking too much. Alright, can you do your thing, opponent? Because he bounces his Oath of Kaya, so you can just kill our Teferi that way next turn. That's a smart play in my opinion, him knowing that he's gonna lose this anyways. Let's just Elspeth conquers death. We're never gonna draw into our land, are we? Yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna draw into our, not land, into our Lovin's veto. Let's try to draw to our veto that way. Please, that give us our veto. I mean, we can still draw it. Please, finally we draw into this annoying veto, finally. And we have the mana to play it. That's good with me. That's super good with me. If one wants to kill our Teferi, be my guest. As long as your bolas doesn't resolve, I'm happy. So we just do this and then we pass. And I don't think we're gonna win this game before milling out. So that's something you need to also figure out with this deck. So don't worry about it, I believe in you. I think opponent is just playing so much disruption that he gets to do these things. But usually you don't mill out with this deck. So opponent is gonna shoot down our Teferi, that's okay. That's definitely okay. G-Spark or Elspeth conquers that, that's also okay. Opponent thinks that he's gonna play the amazing turn of playing a lot of threats. And of course he has another bolas in hand. Of course, I mean, why not? Why not? Because like, of course, when the moment I get my Dovin's Veto, opponent top decks the exact thing that can annoy us. We play Nissa, that's step 1. Nissa is always your step 1. And then you tap 2 of your forests to play your Tamiyo. Okay. And then you minus your Tamiyo to get back your Dovin's Veto. You play your Teferi so people can't interact with your veto. And then you untap a blue source to make sure that you are able to play a veto from like another blue source besides this one, because auto tapper wants to screw you that way. You plus your Teferi and then you attack for 3, and if the game works out very well, we might just still be able to win with like a Brazen Borrower and things like that without milling out. So opponent, what's the plan? If he has Thought Erasure and then he plays Bolas, I mean that's a sad life. I think I'm fine with Atris, I'm really fine with that. Alright, so opponent, Thought Erasure is not something I want to give him. I think we give him this package. And then if he wants to cast his Thought Erasure, he loses his ability to play his Bolas. So I think we just do that. And then I can counter Elspeth Conquers Death, so that's not the worst issue. Yeah, I think that's the plan. And we still have another veto somewhere in the deck, so we can just draw into that. So opponent gets his Elspeth Conquers Death, he loses his Thought Erasure, and we can just veto this Elspeth Conquers Death. That's fine with me. Even if he like gets to do things, I think we are fine with like whatever he does. So let's see, opponent, what's the plan? Play your Elspeth Conquers Death right into a counter spell. Glass Casket to take care of our land. Alright, so we're just gonna float the mana from it. Then pass to you. So back to you, opponent. I mean, that means he can't Elspeth Conquers Death. Can he? No, he can't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, he can. So let's just flash in our Borrower and try to deal this 32 points of damage that way. You know, you're gonna have to deal damage some way. So it's gonna have to start somewhere. Alright. So did we ever scry anything bottom? We didn't. I think we play a huge krasis and we try to win that way, but I don't want to overdraw. So I think we can play a krasis for 12. That draws me 6 cards. I'm gonna have to tap 12 autopay. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine to autopay. And of course we don't draw into a veto, of course. Oh, we actually did draw into, no, we didn't play it last turn, we didn't draw into a veto. I'm gonna bounce this Atlas because I want to keep applying pressure with like my deck. Plus our Nissa, on top any land currently, I think we just on top the forest.
Behold, nature's true power.
And then we attack for 6. And then I'm just gonna Uro to try to draw into our veto that might come back to haunt us, but I mean, I'd rather have another veto in hand. Yeah, definitely that's the better play in my opinion. Definitely having double veto is better. Krasis is not something I need. So now we have double veto. Opponent, you can do your worst. Alright, we're not gonna plus because I don't want to mill 4. Discard a card, Triumph is fine. And I think we are in a good spot. We are in definitely a good spot. Atlas is fine because we're gonna start attacking with everything anyways. Now the question is, can I win before milling out? That's definitely a question that's on our mind currently. Let's see. Dress, Glass Casket. I think that's the best thing to give him. I think that's the best thing to give him because he goes like, why is he giving me Dress while he has Dovin's Veto in hand? And that maybe would have changed his mind, but it didn't. So we're gonna have to Dovin's Veto this. So what's the plan, opponent, now? Do you just try to slam in your Elspeth? Glass Casket is gonna get vetoed as well. I wanna attack with my krasis. Definitely. Do you also have a land? Definitely he has a land. Yeah, is it all? He plays his Bolas and then he kills our krasis. And I don't think we're gonna be able to win before milling out. It's not we're gonna win without milling out.
Once again.
We have 4 cards left in our library. 4 cards. We went through all of our deck. Opponent, what's the plan? He bounces the krasis. That's annoying, definitely. I mean, I should have maybe not given him Glass Casket, but I forgot that Uro is 2 mana. That's a misplay from my part and I'm sorry about it. So we're just going to plus reanimate this land.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Plus this Teferi. And I think we just attack face. Yeah, I definitely think we attack face. Sadly, Nissa is not gonna get to ulti, but I don't think her ulti is gonna do much anyways. And then seeing how Nissa is not going to ulti, do we play our other Nissa to apply more pressure? I think we lost that play because we didn't do it this turn. Let's just sample Epiphany, see what's left in this deck. Spiral is not it. Yeah. Things are not looking good for us, to say the least. We're gonna have to apply a lot of pressure and not a lot of turns. Although Bolas is down to 1, so that's good with me. Now, how much can we apply? How much damage can we apply? This, if it gets flashed in, that's 9. Then that's, we might be able to get into this. We might be able to get the win, but it's gonna be hard. Let's just say the least. It's gonna be hard. Let's do this. Alright, opponent is definitely thinking way too much because like he's thinking whether or not to reanimate the land with Nissa, right? That's what I think he's like really considering. But I think it's fine because we bounce the land with the Borrower and then we play the Borrower, attack down the Bolas. Yeah, I think that's the best choice we have currently. So he Elspeth Conquers Death or Nissa, I'm assuming. He wouldn't want that to ulti. But I mean, maybe Teferi is also a good choice because Teferi now is just going to be us bouncing whatever blocker he makes. So now what's the plan, opponent? Extinction Event? I mean, why not? You did have it all anyways. Alright, Blessing is not a good choice in my opinion, except if he has a board wipe in hand. So do you have a board wipe in hand, opponent?
Your weak mind
Atris is also fine, although it's annoying, but I think we're fine with him. I mean, if opponent might just mill out as well. I think we just give him 2 lands, although Thought Erasure looks too good. I think we give him 2 lands. I think we just definitely give him 2 lands, although Erasure means that we lose our Nissa. We just lost our Nissa, guys. We lost this Nissa, and we probably lost this game, but we didn't because the passive of Tamio says that we don't discard anything if we do. That feels good. That feels very good. That feels very good to do. Won't just figure out that you can't make me discard anything with an active Tamio and move on with your life. Opponent, just move on with your life. Yeah. Tamio says that you can't make me discard. So we're gonna play our Brazen Borrower and we're gonna try to go for lethal. I could have bounced. I think we just bounced Atris, but that gives him more cards to look at, but I think I'm fine with that. Or we could have bounced Elspeth Conquers that, but I don't think it's something I want to do. Is there anything in this deck that can win us the game off the top? I think we're probably gonna draw a land. Brazen Borrower is definitely not a land, and it's something that I like seeing. So we're gonna play our Nissa. And then we're gonna plus our Nissa, make an attacker. We're gonna attack for a bunch, and I think we just need to attack one more time and then we win. So opponent, you're gonna take a bunch of damage. Yes, a bunch is a verb. And if everything goes our way, we just get to play a Borrower at unstep. I mean, not a Borrower at unstep, we just get to bounce something with Borrower and then attack with it, and we just might not even need to do that. Narset Portal evades is fine as long as she doesn't get him a board wipe. Please, for the love of everything, don't get him a board wipe. Although a board wipe is fine because he either gets to deal with these or he gets to deal with these. He doesn't get to deal with both. Alright, so he's gonna keep on casting Planeswalker to get himself out of this position. Are you going to get there, opponent? That's the question. I mean, I think we got this game in the bag at last after this long game that I'm sorry I had to make you sit through all of it, but that's how long it took. And I think showcasing to you good games is better in my opinion. Let's just give him one lesser land. Alright, so I think this game is ours for the taking, and opponent thinks that he probably got something else where he didn't. He maybe went like, opponent is trying to bait me by giving me 2 lands. What other card is that? And then he gets a Blood Crypt. Oh, get wrecked. Alright, so another Narset is okay. He still has access to his board wipe if he draws it, but I think we still have the lethal just because we have a Borrower. So let's see. Opponent, please don't get your board wipe. Please don't get your board wipe. Please don't get your board wipe. Thought Erasure is fine because we have our Tamio, and I can't believe we win this game. We finally win this really annoying game. Opponent, do your worst. Opponent, do your worst. Yeah, that doesn't do anything now, does it? Doesn't do anything. Yes, Tamio, yes. Show him who's boss. Can we Borrower? I mean, can we bounce this and then do something? He draws a card. He's not giving up. Exile this Temple Garden. I don't know why he probably drew his board wipe now. Is that why you oops? And that's gonna be pretty much it for the video, guys. This was a very huge challenge for me to win without milling out. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this deck, please do tell me in the comments down below. If you want to discuss anything, consider joining our Discord server because we get to argue on picks there. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.